So kuna vile niko maside za coast and yes, jana nili have like a very interesting day. Kuna uboy anaitwa Walter wagana run YouTube channel inaitwa Wadeki Auto Trading. So Walter alikuwa ameniambia nikiwa ifika hizi maside za coast anisa nipeleka round ni check mandai hivi after nisifu ile ndai ya China. Ile inaitwa nini jo? Jetwa. Aliniambia naweza kama mtu ni cheki nisidharau hizi vitu like so called second hand that kuna vitu kali. So yeah, alibaki amenitake round alafu apart from that nikamwambia jo Buddha jo, there's one place that I always hear about inaitwa Dongo Kundu. Tuzabaki tumefika hiyo area at least nione hiyo njia inakaaje. Alafu damn, hiyo njia inakaa beautiful man. Like the name does not do the place justice. Najua cause sini raya tumetoka Nairobi, so tukisikia kitu kama Dongo Kundu tunashinda Dongo Kundu. Alafu pia tunajua governor, okay, acha niseme hivyo, bado niko Mombasa. So yes, kuna a few things because it happen. Of course, this coming Thursday kutakuwa na the by-election. The by-election itakuwa ya Mbeere North and ni very interesting because what has happened because of that, kumekuwa na story like the Standard finally gave us a story about one of the contestants and the contestant is the one that's being backed by the president, and this is the reason why at some point unasikiaga nikizusha nikisema that I don't understand how the president does his things. Why? Because he always surrounds himself with questionable characters, and this Muthende guy has actually surprised me because hii CV yake wacha tubaki tumeicheki. So ilikuwa kwa the Saturday Standard, ilikuwa ni okay, let me grab this laptop and read this. So ilikuwa imeandikwa fingered in a 643 million hospital oxygen scam. Sikia hiyo, huni mseme kwa endorsed by the president of Kenya. Leonard Njeru rebranded himself as Leo wa Muthende and is now President Ruto's chosen candidate in Mbeere North by-election. His troubled past may be catching up with his political future as anti-corruption investigators link him to forged documents, an unfunctional oxygen plant, and millions of public funds lost at the Kenyatta National Hospital, despite the EACC recommending his prosecution. He has been embraced by despite the EACC recommending his prosecution, he has been embraced by the ruling party's top brass, raising stark questions about integrity, vetting, and sanitization of scandals. So yes, this is the problem that we have. And most of us who have a problem with the president, this is what I normally talk about. Like, majuzi nakumbuka, I was talking about how being the president's friend always means you not being accountable for the crimes you've committed. And that's what I have a problem with. Like, this guy, I'm sure Mbeere North has other people who are more qualified. But the fact that inabidi ni Leo wa Muthende, now Leo wa Muthende atabaki amedhodeka, okay, hapo nimepotea. So yes, so kuna hiyo story, like, I don't know what you even think about it, because this story where there's 643 million shillings scandal, and then you take such money that belongs to the public and then you end up running for public office. So you're already a man of questionable character, but somehow you're supposed to now be responsible for other millions or even billions of shillings. So yes, that's the story ya Muthende. And if you come to the story of Muthende, of course, Thursday, as I keep saying, I'm really looking forward to Thursday because I want to see. I've seen people talk about the gap, that if the gap between the DCP candidate and Muthende is not very big, even if the DCP candidate wins, it still means that Ruto has some form of control. And I don't know what to think about that. I feel like by-elections cannot be used to gauge stuff because there's a lot of people who stay away from by-elections. But when it comes to the real elections, they show up. So I don't know how serious people from Mbeere North are going to take of Thursday, because it would be a public holiday. That means people will still be working. So will people take time off, go vote, and then go back? Or will people just ignore it? I actually don't know. So that's one of the things that we have to just wait and see. Yes, so kuna hiyo story ya Muthende. But apart from this story ya Muthende, another story that I saw that was super interesting was an actual post. And this is a post from one of Ruto's friends. This is someone that I don't like. But below Samaga, a broken clock is right twice a day. So this is the character that Ruto was launching some steel factory, I think in Webuye. And this is the character that said that he'd want Ruto to rule for 25 years. So coming from that, of course, I didn't like that, because no one, no matter how good you are, we should not allow any president to feel like they're the only one who can run Kenya. That's nonsense. So, Badu Buddha, alikuwa na bonga, and he said something very profound. Alikuwa na bonga juu ya Africa and prayer. And I don't want us to listen. Chatuone.
If you research and if you see it, most churches, every 600 meter or 100 meter or 1 kilometer, you will find a church. Most poorest continent is Africa. Why?
So yeah, umesikia hapo anasema like the continent that prays the most ni Africa, yet the poorest continent ni Africa still. So this is something that musemaga, and of course I hate saying this on a Sunday because I'm trying to be good today, but prayer is one of the most useless human inventions ever, najua. So you just have to work for it, and sometimes you need a certain level of luck, but there is no luck in prayer, najua. If you're not doing anything, prayer won't take you anywhere. So prayer is useless, but of course it will come to kadanganyo that prayer is more useful than even work. So but wacha tuendelea kusikiza ubuda. Usahau ubuda ni billionaire.
Do you have answer? Mm-hmm. We don't need churches. We don't need temples. I am pastor myself. We need schools. We need hospitals. We need industries. That is where the life is. God is not telling to build church and pray me there. You pray where you are.
Yes, you pray where you are. Of course, this is something that the C-terms of this world won't want to hear because they make billions. And this is something that preachers won't want to hear because preachers need you in that building. The only reason that churches exist in the form that they exist is because preachers need you to come there so that they can guilt trip you, and after they guilt trip you, nitabaki wamepatia pesa yako. So of course preachers won't be happy with this. Umsamesema he is a preacher himself. Damn, okay, so it seems he's a Christian. But so this is even more powerful coming from a Christian, because if he was a Hindu, then people could justify it and say, oh church yake iko kila pahali. But no, okay.
You need correct policies to change the people's life. By praying, if it is changed, then we cannot be poor. God says you can't just pray, you work. Make the policies. If I'm wrong, please tell me.
No, you're saying the truth.
It's a bitter truth. Mm-hmm. We believe that we go to church or a temple or mosque, our problem will be sorted out. No, then we cannot be poor. We could be the richest. And we have the most mineral deposit in the world.
The story of mineral deposits was very sad, especially when you think about a country like this country, what's its name? Congo. And you think about how rich Congo is, and then you hear the reasoning. People will be like, white people are making sure that Congo can never have peace. But at what point do we take responsibility? At what point do we say that, you know what, I'm responsible for my own stuff, and Africa needs to wake up? Yes, there is neo-colonialism, but also we play a role in our own demise. So we can't blame white people forever. At some point we have to step up. Step up to get your rep up.
Look at the opposite. These people who are outside, they don't have anything, but they are richer.
Because they see the opportunities there.
There is no churches like what we have.
Mm-hmm.
That means not that they are not Christian.
No.
They are Christian.
They are.
They do pray. But the priority is not only the prayer and praying and then you come out. No. The priority is to build the churches, build the industries, promote the employment, reduce your deficits by creating that investments. Schools, education, science, technology. These are the important things. Let me do.
Umetikio place. Okay. Umetikio place ya education. Amesema science, technology. Najua. And that's just it. Like, we live in a very scientific world where the richest man on earth right now, Elon Musk, inasemekana worth over $1 trillion. Of course, you are Elon. Unasikiaga vile musema, I don't actually understand how he's worth that. Why? Because they say that Tesla is a tech company But this tech company is afraid of Chinese companies, so I don't understand how this is the most valuable tech company in the world, because the Chinese always challenge everything. But why are the Chinese able to challenge this tech company? Because the Chinese have also invested in science and technology, and right now they've invested that they're even doing ridiculous stuff. I remember watch a certain video where a Chinese woman is talking about washing machine ile wana create kawa Chinese nani washing machine ingine. I don't know if I can get that video, but I found it to be washing machine ya what I can say ni ya kipumbavu, like wamekama maka na place ya ngodha. Kusisi ngodha waga ukitumia washing machine rusha ngodha hapo karibu na nguo, kwani hukupanguza matoko yako vizuri? Okay, acha tucheck.
This is how washing machine in China looks like. Because as a Chinese, we believe your private clothes like underwear need to wash separately from your normal outfits or your socks. So, this washing machine, which looks like a Mickey Mouse, the main area, of course, is for your normal outfit like jacket, pants, and these two small separately area, one is for your underwear and another one is for your socks.
Masikia hiyo. So kuna hiyo washing machine, and part of it ni for ngodha and another part is for socks. And this is what innovation does. Like, you become so innovative that eventually you run out of ideas and you decide to innovate bullshit. And but yeah, wamesema huko ufai kuosha ngodha na the rest of the clothes, and I was starting to think maybe that's the feng shui that's been missing in my life. Revelosemaga feng shui kuleteaga good luck. Maybe the fact muoshaga ngodha zangu ovyo ovyo ndio mfanyaga sina luck enough. Need to start separating my ngodhas and my socks. Even ngodha na socks ziweki pamoja. Nacheki. But yes, that's what innovation does. And that was also interesting to hear coming from Devki, because as I keep saying, Devki is one of those really big Ruto supporters. I don't know what Uhuru had done to him, but as soon as Ruto became president, this guy became like one of the happiest people on planet Earth, talking about how Ruto needs to run Kenya for the next blah, 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 blah years. And yeah, so it's interesting to see that. But I'd really love as Kenya kama tunaweza do even some of the things that the president talked about kwa hiyo State of the Nation address, and especially investing in science and technology. And I need us to be able at least to build our own roads. Najua, like, it's one thing to build your like gizima super highways na the Chinese, but even those two feeder roads, and it needs to be a certain level where it's done even by government employed engineers. It does not have to be private contractors. Yeah, so we need to do more. So that's one of the things ile nimecheki ile mbaki imeni at least imeni jazz kuchekio buda anaitwa Devki akiambia wasi that it's not about prayer. And this of course is not to discourage you. Today is a Sunday. If you need to go and pray, go and pray. Just understand that it's about you. It's not about your prayer. And pia as you go to pray, as I normally say, hiyo do ulikuwa na plan kupatia pasta, usimpatia. Tumia madhako, tumia budako. Don't furnish ama don't fund someone's very lavish lifestyle as they lie to you that they know what's going to happen to you after you die. Acheki, they need to give you solutions. Alafu inakuwa very interesting. Niliona mtu alisema that it's so interesting that when the pastor wants money, he asks you. When you want money, he asks you to pray. Mbona yeye asiombe? Nacheki, tafakari ya babu. But yes, yeah, acha nimalizie. Vile nimesema, kwa hizi masai za Mombasa imekuwa very interesting. Na nimeona some very interesting cars. What's one of the most interesting cars nimeona jo? Oh, damn, finally niliweza kuingia kwa E-Class. Damn. Your sound system jo. I think the speakers ni Burmeister or something like that. Sound system is crazy. Damn. After the dashboard, man, looks like you're on a plane. So that was very interesting to see. And then kuna wagana nani ubuda amati ubo yanaitwa Osama Otero anakuwaga ni Volvo XC60 fanatic. So decide kuingia pia kwa XC60 nikapata ile inaitwa ni Inscription. So kwa hiyo inscription the sound system was ilikuwa ni Bowers and Wilkins. It was a very interesting sound system because this sound system there's a way to listen to music. So you can listen to music as an individual. So ukiwa peke yako kwa gari, you can listen to the music as a driver. So na city design speakers zitakutandika kama driver, ama pia unaweza sikiza ni kama uko kwa concert hall. And I tried all those, najua because nimesahau kusema nilipelekwa ndani ya nini, boy amenitembeza jua, alinipeleka mpaka kwa port kucheki vile gari waga zinakuwa cleared and forwarded. So nilibaki nimeenda, ikanikumbusha the wire vile kuna kuorganize ma container bigi. So in the process, yes, nikabaki nimecheki Volvo 2, kulikuwa na XC90 na pia kulikuwa na XC60. So the XC60 I was able to play around with the sound, to just listen to it and see like what's happening here. And it was interesting to see to hear how the music sounds, because kulikuwa na hiyo ya nini ya like a setting that makes you listen to the music as many people in the car, and then there was a setting that targets you as an individual. And funny enough, I loved the settings of the individual. I felt like it made the car more full. So that was very interesting to see. But still, man, damn, the E-Class, that sound system, damn, I don't know what those speakers are called. Kwa najua, andika hapo kwa comments. But ziliniambia tu I need to pray more. Because damn. Hizo zilikuwa kali sana. So what else did I see that I found interesting? Okay, kulikuwa na E-Class. Of course, Prado zimejaa. So I didn't stand out. Back nimecheki some other black some black Benz also still. Ni E-Formatic. E200 Formatic, that was really crazy. So yeah, some really interesting cars, man. So all I can say ni a big shout out to boy anaitwa Wadeki wa Auto Trading. Wani Wadeki Auto Trading, bakini nimecheki channel yake. Yes, alikuwa ameni challenge after kuona hiyo story yangu nikibonga juu ya how Chinese cars are dope. Kaniambia the next time I'm in Mombasa, nimake sure nimemtafuta, and I did that, and yeah, it was a good one. It made me miss driving, man. Najua, like I've always been the sort of person who's somehow anti-cars, and I still believe cars are, what are they called? They're liabilities, but they also have a certain level of, what can I say? They bring a certain level of convenience. Yes, I think kuna ngoma fulani napenda sana siku hizi ya msee anaitwa Blueprint. Yusemaga that cars sell convenience, and that's actually it. So yes, baki nimecheck page yake, naitwa Wadeki Auto Trading, and the next time ukiwa masaiza Mombasa, man, hit him up, man. Atakupeleka round hivi, alafu if you take something like a car courtesy of him, ukifika tu kwa kaya adaambia watu huyu ndiye amenileta, ndio at least wabaki wamemjenga ama kitu kama hiyo na cheki, because that's one of the things we need to notice. Hizo makaya kuna wale walikuwa nakuuliza huyu amekuleta, because you have to pretend umekuja kununua gari. Huwezi jifanyisha ati nimekuja kutest sound system za gari zenyu alafu niende shughuli zangu. But yes, tested a lot of sound systems, man, and yeah, kuko na Mercedes Benz E-Class, man. Damn, paka nimekumbuka ile Mercedes Benz E-Class ya Charisma. I try to imagine Charisma listening to his own music hapo anasikiza Joe kwa hiyo sound system. Oh, that's crazy, man, because I'm sure it's a whole other experience. But yes, still uko Mombasa, and yeah, wacha tucheki like what's going to happen, because it's time to come back to Nairobi, Joe. Iko Nini.